Welcome back. In this video we're going to look at all of the buttons and potentiometers on the thrust lever. Now I know what some of them do, I haven't a clue what the others do, but I do know the names of them. So I'm going to go through them from left to right. So at the back here, the left hand side, in that position there, we have the uncage switch. So that's connected through to the air-to-ground missile and also the AIM-9 air-to-air missile. Above that we have this wheel here, and that is the radar gain control. So it rotates back and forth, and then by pushing it in is the missile step switch. Over the front, a little button on the left-hand side, that one there is the undesignated switch. We have another potentiometer and a little wheel here. That is the antenna elevation control. And then the bigger button here is the slew control. And then another small button is the program step switch. Down on the right-hand side, at the front there, is the chaff and flare dispenser. It has 3 positions. At the bottom is the speed brake, so pulling it back opens it, pushing it forward closes it. Here another wee grey top hat. That one there is for the push to torque, so it can operate between 2 frequencies. And then at the top here we have that switch there is the master mode switch, and forward position is air to air, and then the rear position is air to ground. So I've mapped out all of these by putting that into a table. What you're looking at here is just one of the plugs going into the thrust lever. There are 2, and over here I've listed all of the different buttons for this plug. So we've got program step switch, slew control, undesignated switch, etc. Next column is what I have, the function that I've given to each of those. So in this case you can see I've put one through to the undercarriage, flaps down and up, and then we've got speed brake down here. Next column is the position on the original DB25 plug, which I've retained. So T1 is the top pin on the left hand side, and then down here we've got B10, so it's the bottom pin 10 from the left hand side. Here is the equivalent solderless pin number, so T1 goes through to 14, etc. And then the colour of the wire here, so that one is white, then we've got purple orange, and then the Arduino port. So over here, these are all digital ports, so they go from 28 through to 36 for this plug. And then we've got an analog here for the potentiometer, and because it's a potentiometer, it has a ground, and then also 5 volt. So how have I connected those up? This here is the undercarriage button. So it's a toggle switch. Pushing it in will raise or lower the undercarriage. And then down on the right hand side here at the bottom, of course I've connected the speed brake up. So again, pulling it back opens it. Pushing it forward, the speed brakes close. And then I've made this the flap lever. If I pull that back briefly, that's 1 increment of flaps. If I pull it back and hold it for more than 1 second, the flaps will go to full, and then pushing it forward we get the reverse. Now the other thing I've connected up is this here to the rudders. The rudder pedals that came with the simulator were never connected. You can see sitting in front of them I've got some commercial rudder pedals, and I hope to connect those 2 up to operate pedals. But in the meantime I'm using this wheel to actually steer on the ground. So let's go up to the screen and we'll have a look at a couple of those functions. So the first one is the speed brake. By pulling the speed brake button back, we open it up, and then pushing it forward we close that. And if I move the wheel here, we'll see the rudder's actually working left and right. So if we have a look down here, another thing you may note is that the thrust lever is quite close to the ejection seat. There's not much clearance there, and the reason for that is the seat is sitting higher than it should be. The seat itself, it's not a real ejection seat, but it looks sort of similar to one. And then in behind here, down in the back, is an electric motor, and that raises and lowers the seat through these guide rails here. So it's 240 volt. I'm going to get an electrician to have a look at that because it's a bit more power than a 5 volt, and I don't trust myself. But you can raise and lower the seat through this switch. So by going that way, the seat will go up, and then obviously pulling the switch to the back, the seat will go down. So once I've got that all checked out, I'll be able to lower the seat and give me more clearance on this side. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you back in the next one.